We'll call the meeting back to order. Not sure what's going on up there. Public hearings and presentations to and by the board. You ready, Dr. Bowles? Dr. Bowles will present the information about the Parents as Teachers program, fondly known as PAT. Yep. So refer you to pages 9 and 10. Newsletter.
So most of the info is in your packet, but I just got some pictures to go with it, and others can ask me questions.
Is that on?
Details? Just get started. The vision of parents as teachers hasn't changed in 30 years, that all children will learn, grow, and develop to realize their full potential. This includes prenatal children. So, there's 4 components to parents as teachers. The personal visits, and those, as I said, they start prenatal, or they can, and to prepare parents for the job of being a parent, and answer questions about the different stages of pregnancy. And then personal visits continue when the children, after they're born, and they're all completed by certified parent educators that have gone through the curriculum for parents as teachers. The group connections are, the purpose of those is to share experiences with other parents and to make connections and to gain insight into what's going on with other children, your children's age. And I think the best, the center, which will be covered in here, we have the playgroups at the center during the school year every Monday and Thursday, and it's so neat to see the parents at the beginning of the year when they come in sometimes a little hesitant and they don't know anyone else, and then by the end in May when we leave, they're saying, "Oh, there you are, we were wondering if you were coming," and their kids are running up and hugging each other, and they're planning play dates outside of PAT and passing out birthday invitations and all that. That's a really fun thing. The screenings are held, we're required, or one of the requirements for parents as teachers is to do a screening every year, a developmental screening, and that's for developmental, health, hearing, and vision. And we can also do screenings, and we do mini screenings that aren't parents as teachers, families. So anyone could come in for a free screening. And screenings are reimbursed by the state at a sliding scale, I guess, at the high needs birth to 3, they pay the most, and it goes on down. So, and many times we can find if there's a developmental issue or if there's a hearing issue or something, we can have early intervention so that that's already taken care of by the time they come to school. And this year we refer them to First Steps. We refer kids to the Early Childhood Special Ed program. And all of the children that we referred from a screening this year to Early Childhood Special Ed did qualify. So I think that really shows what a valid job our educators are doing. We also do family assessments. That's required now, and that's to help the educators see what areas that they need, that they can possibly address during their visits. The last component of the Parents as Teachers is the resource network, and that can be anything from community services, upcoming events. It can be, I've helped people fill out Medicare cards. I've helped them find where the library is and give them a map. It might be just any needs they have. It might be finding a job, going back to school. We try to connect those to the parents with those appropriate services. It might be for them, or it might for their family, or it might be for their child. And I think it's been addressed the last couple of years how the new curriculum is becoming more family-oriented, not just child-oriented. So we try to serve the needs of the family. So here's some personal visits, parents interacting. Usually it's just the main caregiver, whether sometimes that's a nanny. We have a few of those. Sometimes both parents are working. Sometimes it's a parent, one or the other parent, sometimes it's a grandparent. And we have a few that both parents are always there on the visits, which is nice. Did I miss something? Oh, there's some more. The middle one, I've got the book there because one of the other components that we always do during a visit is to give a book or to read a book or have the parent read a book while we're there. We bring books that would be age appropriate. And then we leave the books if they would like and pick them up the next time. So we loan books out, and that's tracked also. And I don't have those numbers, but it's a lot. We also leave toys, age-appropriate toys or things like that if the family requests or if they want to. So we loan out a lot of stuff. Couple of let's see, we've got a newborn there, and then we've got one doing the measuring and with grains and rice and all that stuff.
I remember those.
The group connections are large events that are supposed to be held monthly. Last year, in the past few years, we've had 4 big ones. This year, we increased that to 10. Some of them weren't as large as others. Some of them were small group events. We did do a breastfeeding workshop here in conjunction with the nurse lactation consultant at the Phelps County Regional Medical Center. And she's hoping to make that a monthly event. The parents that came, it was very useful for them and the connections they made. We also did one with fire safety this year. We did one with healthy eating with the extension services. One of our favorites is messy art, always in September, and then the old McDonald's farm with the 4-H, and you'll see some pictures from those here in a minute. So we did increase to 10. They're wanting you to have 12 a year. Of course, they're wanting that to be a year-round service as well. So we did 10 in the 9 months, and I thought that was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yep.
So Messy Art, we held it September 12th. It's usually held out here in the parking lot. It's always well-attended, and it's always messy. There's some stuff going on there, everything from blowing bubbles to making footprints to oops, I only had one picture from that. I thought I had another one. Okay, we also did Moving, Grooving, and Learning that for the 2nd year in a row, and Tracy Phoenix, physical therapist, helps us with that and set up stations around the gym at Wyman, and it's always really fun. Parachute play and all kinds of fun things. So,
There you go.
and the kids just go around and play at the different stations. That's not gonna let me go back. Yep. Okay, there it is. Okay. We did a group connection meeting at the library this year, and the librarian was very excited to make connections with us. And she gave tours, she showed all the facilities, she talked about difference of reading a book to the different age children. We had handouts from parents as teachers as well, and then parents were just kind of able to explore with their kids. That was the handout of sorts that we gave for that. And then we also, I wrote a letter of collaboration with the library that we did for their summer program, because she had to have constituents, and we were a new group that she wanted to connect with. So their summer program is Read from the Start, Grow a Reader, and show some of our kiddos there. So one of our group meetings was developing fine motor skills. And Mary Fraley, Director of Capable Kids, came and talked to the parents about her program, and then we just had a variety of things that the kids and their parents could interact with, everything from puzzles to crayons to building blocks. Yeah.
I'm
Stringing
thinking that's
beads.
about to go tumbling down.
They like the noise when it comes
Yep.
down. We did this with the extension service. We did healthy eating, healthy teeth. And we actually got, it was money from parents as teachers to do this. And if we did one it was during Dental Awareness Month. And anyone who did that could get, they sent us $300. So we did that. And so I said, sure we will. And so we put one together on healthy eating and healthy teeth, and it was a lot of fun. And the extension service person came, and we made snacks with granola sundaes, and then she made a dip for veggie dip that they could make. They won door prizes and all kinds of stuff. Here's some of the things we did. We did a matching bingo game that they could take, not bingo, but a matching game that they could take home and then cut out and do matching. And on the right, those big teeth with all the green, we did it was laminated over a big set of teeth, and we had a brush. I should have brought it in here. It's actually meant to wash your dishes with, but it looks kind of like a toothbrush, and the kids would brush it off, and it's erasable marker. So they just love to get the teeth dirty and then erase them. I don't know if it's going to help them brush at home, but they like doing it that night anyway. So, and those were some of the things that were addressed. When should they start brushing their teeth? How can you get them to choose healthy snacks, and how much should they be eating? Which is amazing. It's an issue that some really get stuck on. They're not eating enough or not eating too much. We collaborated with the fire department this year, a safety check and car seat checkup, and they were doing this at a lot of the daycares and things, and I asked them if we'd do one. So we also invited the early childhood special ed program families to come. A couple did. Oh. Okay. I really want you to see this one, yeah. The little fireman on the right is pretty funny. In the middle, you can't really see the fireman's in there, though, checking 2 car seats of twins. And then, but they let all the kids, they just let them go everywhere on the fire trucks. It was really fun. They got in there and they'd wave, and I think that's in the next. Oh. Okay, there, yeah.
There
So
he
there's
is.
one up there waving. And it was a fun event that I think we'll probably, hopefully do again. Old MacDonald had a farm. You'll see on the newsletter, it was on the front for the first time ever on one of our newsletters, our fall, our winter schedule for the center. I put on there, save the date, and a big yellow thing, and then we had to change it. So I learned my lesson. And they said, oh, thanks, I've got it on there circled. And then, well, first of all, it was prom weekend, and I don't think some of the young writers wanted to do it that day. And then with the date we had originally picked, the fairgrounds actually had another event and couldn't do it that day. So we ended up doing it in April. We usually do it in May, but the April weather actually turned out better than the May. Usually we have a little more rain. So, and they'd increased the size of the area where they had horses. They had 3 horses, and I don't think I have any pictures of them, but that they got to ride, and that was really a favorite. But then the stick horses is always a favorite as well. As you can see on the right one, that's always, and then playing with tractors and farm equipment at the top, little toys, is always a good one too. Playtime at the center, Monday and Thursdays, 10 and 11 during the school year. Thank you to Kim Kiwanis, who was the interim center director this year, for allowing us to do that again this year. Here's some of those, and there's 2 sets of mats put out and lots of large foam-covered equipment that the kids can climb over. We get out balls, we get out scars, we get out stuff, and then we always end it by singing. So they know when we circle to sing that it's about time to go home, and they start settling. This year we've added 3 playgroups at the Lions Club, not every Monday, but just the second Monday. So next Monday, from 10 to 11 on Mondays, and we've had 1, and we did have a few parents come, and I think some others are planning to come next time, just so a way of them getting together during the summertime. Second year in a row, the Chamber of Commerce has selected parents as teachers to sponsor a book drive for us. That started May 18th, and it will continue through June 15th at for all the books and toys. And so this is the part of the flyer and things that they put together for us at the Chamber. Thank you for your support for the program, and do you have any
31
questions?
years.
The recommended books for that, is it available anywhere besides the bookstore?
You can get them on Amazon.
And
Um,
for your book drive,
Yeah.
the recommended books?
Yes, there
Can
are
they
some
find-
recommend, we have a huge, Parents as Teachers has a huge list of books for appropriate for, they have them written by age, they have them
Okay.
by discipline, like going to bed or taking a nap. I mean, you can look at them different ways, but we just picked, and I'm not quite sure how many there are, maybe 15, because they didn't want to order,
Sure,
they
sure.
they didn't want somebody coming in asking for a book that they don't have. and
Right,
things, But you
right.
can
Okay.
buy books anywhere, any book, so, yeah, but, yeah, I can send you that list if you'd like, that they narrowed it down. I sent them about 20, and then they narrowed it down further after they compared it to books and what they have out there, because they couldn't get, some of their distributors don't distribute all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them, from independent authors, so. And on your count, on your thing, it says we've had 1,188 personal family visits, and actually, when I looked at today, because we've had some that have continued, is we've had 1,221. So, and last year we had 1,092, so we increased by about 100 visits this year. We've increased, last year we had about 200 families, at this point we have 211. I don't think that's in your thing, so we've increased a little bit, but the numbers aren't really indicative of the services particularly, because Parents as Teachers now wants you to do with your high needs families 2 a month. They'd like you to see them every 2 weeks. Now, not every family wants to have you in there every 2 weeks, but that's what their ideal is. That's their benchmark they want you to try for. Out of those families, we had 141 that are high needs. And the high need covers everything from, in varying degrees. A single parent, a parent in the military, it's going to be deployed. Then it also does things as child abuse, physical violence in the home, incarceration, and there's 15 different categories that they consider high needs, that they've added some. And so we had 141 families that have 1, 2, 3, or 4 categories that they meet high
Wow.
needs in. So we added 2 Parents as Teachers this year. Linda Branham, who just finished her master's in psychology, and Jan Giddens, who I think most of you know, just retired after years of teaching. So they were really great additions to the teachers program this year.
Any questions, comments?
Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Bowles.
Thank you.